Good evening and welcome to a new episode of your show, What's Happening? Today is Sunday, the 16th of July, 2026, the 19th of July, and also the 5th of Safar. Massive floods. And it has already struck the United States of America. In more than one state and in more than one city already. But maybe the most dangerous states, or let's talk about 3 or 4 states, but let me start with the most dangerous state because it's not an ordinary state, or the most dangerous city or 2 cities because they're not exactly ordinary cities. Absolutely. We're going to talk about flooding and flash floods in New York and also New Jersey. The streets of these 2 cities turned into something like rivers. Of course, as I'm talking, you can see in front of you on the screen clips showing how the streets of these 2 cities turned into rivers because the heavy rains caused flash floods, and caused submersion. Public transportation routes, bus routes, all of this, public transportation, buses, airplanes, and cars. And all these roads lead to a very, very important place. Today, this place, all eyes around the world will head there within an hour or 2 from now. Specifically, MetLife Stadium, this stadium in the city of East Rutherford. In New Jersey, where the final match of the World Cup will be held, the World Cup final between the national teams of Argentina and Spain. New York and New Jersey are very close to each other. New York is only about 20 kilometers away from the stadium. The floods did not submerge the stadium itself, meaning the flood waters did not enter the stadium itself, but they flooded the area around the stadium. There was standing water around the stadium. The floods closed off the area, flooded it, and closed off the area surrounding the stadium. Of course, this will cause a lot of trouble, a great deal of trouble for the fans of both teams, whether Spanish or Argentine, in reaching the stadium. The severe storm actually started yesterday. There were thunderstorms and very heavy rain that hit New Jersey and New York yesterday. Imagine in just 1 hour yesterday, Saturday, about 75 millimeters of rain fell. And that's a huge, really huge amount of water. There was so much water, because of how heavy the rain was and how intense the downpour was. The drainage system stopped or failed to drain this water. And maybe the European fans or the Spanish fans or even the Argentine fans, those who are in New York or even in New Jersey will be surprised that the strongest country in the world couldn't control or couldn't drain or get rid of the floodwaters quickly, which they were all expecting, and this was expected. No matter how advanced the country or the city is, it's difficult for any country or any city's streets to be able to handle it. To get rid of 75 millimeters of rain in just 1 hour, that's what came down. This was something very dangerous. What happened in New York and what happened in New Jersey actually affected the World Cup match, or at least the preparations for this match. For example, a training session for the Spanish national team was canceled. The players were supposed to go and train at the stadium, but it was canceled because of the flooding and flash floods. The Spanish national team couldn't make it, or they couldn't even train, let's say inside the stadium, because there was very heavy rain and it was impossible for them to train in such conditions. Even the Argentine national team, led by Messi, of course, had to be delayed by 45 minutes for the training session or for the scheduled training time. But in the midst of all this, something very strange happened, guys. I can't not mention it. Even just yesterday, the heavy rains that caused floods prevented people and teams from reaching the stadium yesterday. Yesterday, the air quality in New Jersey and New York was very bad because of the smoke from the Canadian wildfires in Ontario. This huge amount of smoke. Do you remember? Should I show you something from the fires in Canada? Yeah, I'll show you a scene from the fires in Canada, in the province of Ontario in Canada. The fires are really massive. This smoke reached many US states, including New York and New Jersey. Even the World Cup final was at risk to be delayed, postponed, or rescheduled because it would be very difficult for these teams to play in such an atmosphere. The air quality is bad, especially since this stadium is open. MetLife Stadium is an open stadium, not a closed stadium, so the match could have been postponed, but then heavy rain came, glory be to God. And the floods and flash floods cleaned the air from the remnants of this smoke, or what was left from the forest fire smoke. Some people are saying, man, maybe they had to go on alert to get rid of the smoke and try not to postpone the World Cup match. Some people, I mean, there are people saying that they sprayed chemtrail gas and did cloud seeding and they managed to get rid of this smoke in the atmosphere. That's what some are saying. But this information remains unconfirmed so far. Okay, so what's the issue now? What happened? The stadium is fine, and both teams will arrive on time, so the match will start as scheduled at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time in the United States and at 10 o'clock p.m. in the Levant and Egypt. But for sure, the fans of both teams will find it difficult and very difficult to reach the stands to support their teams. Let me wrap up the topic. It wasn't just in New York and it wasn't just in New Jersey. Let me take you with me to the state of Arizona. And there were also floods and record rains that hit the state of Arizona. And even one of the police cars there was swept away by these floodwaters and the massive floods that formed there. Anyway, that's all for now. For sure, let's keep following the final match between Spain and Argentina together. I'm Ahmad Al-Drama, and Shoe Sire will be on soon. All the best.